Hello, everyone, and welcome to the NASA HUNCH Culinary Challenge Finals. I'm Chef Dom, hosted by Sullivan University. I'm Chef Dom, Sullivan University Chef Representative, and we have a lot of fun today. Today, we are judging the top 10 finalists with NASA HUNCH. I'll be one of your hosts, Chef Dominic. Also joining me, co-host today for this exciting event is Alli Westhover, production project coordinator of NASA HUNCH, and Dustin Hall of Sullivan University. We have a great second round of this culinary competition, um, but we'll go back to Dustin live in the studio.
Hey, Chef, thanks so much for the warm welcome. We're excited to be back for you for round two of or heat two of the NASA HUNCH Culinary Challenge Final. If you joined us in for the first session and we had earlier today, we had 5 fantastic schools that we got to do their recipes and got judged out. And very exciting time to be here on the campus of Sullivan University. Alli, any words of encouragement for our students that are going into Heat 2 today?
Absolutely. I am just so excited that you guys are participating and that your recipes are going to be judged. I mean, the first round recipes were awesome, and I'm sure your round of recipes are going to be just as awesome. So good luck to everybody, and I know every single one of you guys have worked so hard. Thank you.
Absolutely. Well, we've got a lot of great stuff going on today. I'm going to go ahead and share with you so you can sort of see the chefs are already starting to work in their areas. So you're going to see them start popping up here on the screen. And then we'll go ahead and actually introduce the schools whose recipes we're going to be doing for the afternoon stream. So we've got everybody already working in there, which is awesome. A couple things about our live stream today is we want to hear from you. Let's make this interactive. We'd love to see all your comments on Facebook. And so make sure that you're commenting on there. We'll share those on screen. But we're going to have a fun afternoon. And I love seeing all these chefs in there getting started for the afternoon session. So let's go ahead and get to know some of our teams for this afternoon session. So in the afternoon session, we have Burnett High School from Texas with a creamy chicken francaise. We have Fleming Day School out of Georgia, and they're going to be presenting a Mango Madness vegetarian hot dog. Next up, we have Hewitt-Trussville High School out of Alabama, and they're serving up, their recipe serves up stout beer braised short ribs with cauliflower mash. Next up, we have the Milton Hershey School from Pennsylvania with their take on a healthy turkey chili. And last up in our afternoon heat is Windsor High School out of Connecticut with their fantastic space bars. So lots of luck to all of our competitors today. And thanks for joining in. I see the Facebook feed is already lighting up, so we'll be adding some of your comments here shortly. Alli, any words of encouragement for the competitors as they're now that we've met the teams as they're sort of starting off?
Yeah, I mean, it's just amazing that we've got teams from all over the country, right? I mean, it's great that we have representation everywhere. And every different region of the U.S. has the different kind of comfort food that to them is comfort food. So it'll be nice to see what everybody has with these wonderful 5 recipes that we've got going on for the afternoon.
Awesome. That's great. Well, I know we're going to talk more about HUNCH this afternoon, but Alli, I'd like to talk a little bit about what makes this competition a little bit different than other culinary competitions that we may have seen in the past, because this is a very unique one, where one of these recipes that we've had the chance to do today is going to end up in space. So obviously things are going to taste a little bit different up there. So I'm curious to get a little bit of information on what that process is like. So I want to go ahead and put a couple slides up here so that Alli can tell us a little bit more about what this is going to look like once it makes it to space.
Yes, so our challenge is quite different than other culinary challenges. Ours is more focused on understanding the food processing that has to take place to get food up into space in the microgravity environment. There's reasons behind with their bodies, the space physiology, what's happening in the astronauts' bodies that make it necessary to have some of the requirements that we have. And then, of course, meeting those requirements with strict nutritional guidelines for the astronauts' health. That makes it very different. And then, if you want to pull up the other slide for me.
Sure.
Okay. So this is for this year. We're doing a healthier comfort food. The reason why this theme, and every year we have a new theme, and this year's theme was chosen primarily because of dealing with the pandemic. And everybody is going for that comfort food, you know, because we're all dealing with all this adversity. So we wanted to be able to provide the astronauts with a comfort food. But of course, we need to make it healthy for them. So our calories are between 200 and 400. Our fat is 12 grams or less, saturated fat 3 grams or less, sodium 250 milligrams or less, which is really tight. Dietary fiber 3 grams or more, and then the sugar 8 grams or less. So we have this tight nutritional requirements that we have for them. So anybody that's going to be in our challenge, they really have certain phases that they have to go through. The first phase is doing research, because I want them to understand that it's not like making food for on the Earth. We can have things that look really pretty, but that's not really going to matter whenever it comes to space food that's processed. We want it to not look unappetizing to the crew, but they don't get to have all the pretty that normally comes with culinary. We also vet their recipes. So when they send recipes to us as part of the challenge, then the JSC Food Lab is our partner in this. And so they are looking at the recipes and trying to see which ones are best for space flight. Then we do these preliminary challenges all over the place, all over the country. And we use a sensory evaluation sheet. And the sensory evaluation sheet is just like the one that they use with the astronauts regularly for food that they're going to send up to space. And that sensory evaluation is looking at things like taste and texture, aroma, your overall appearance of it. And those are the things that we look at. So from that competition, the preliminaries, then we choose the top 10. And the top 10 usually come to the finals at Space Center Houston. And that's where it's out for them to make the food in front of the public. And then we have different judges, such as our astronauts, some of our program management from International Space Station, other HUNCH team members, other special guest chefs, and they do that at Space Center Houston. So it's kind of a neat deal for them. But this year we're doing it with Sullivan, and they're really helping us to get past the issues that we've been having with the pandemic, because they weren't able to come to Houston. So we really appreciate Sullivan for that. And in the years past that we've done this, these are some of the dishes that we've had that have gone up to space for the astronauts. 2015 was our first one, and we had a spicy Jamaican rice and beans with shrimp. Then in 2016, we had a roasted red pepper risotto. We've had in 2017 a strawberry rhubarb crisp. 2018, a blackberry orange casserole. 2019, a harvest hash, which actually the crew used in one of their holiday meals, which was awesome to hear about. And then this year is the 2020 was the Moroccan chicken tagine. So we've had a lot of wonderful recipes. The crew is always very excited to get these different foods from Hunch and try them out.
That's awesome, Alli. Thanks for sharing that information with us. And to talk about the processing, there were so many key things there. And as we were prepping for this and meeting with some of the students and the advisors, we kept going back to that nutritional part, because, ultimately for a lot of chefs, when they get a recipe, they're like, oh, well, I could tweak here, or I could change this, or, this might be good. And, but we can't do that. So we make the recipes that we were given identical to how the students sent it into us. And we watched the videos to make sure that even if, whatever techniques they use, we were talking about like yesterday as we were getting prepared, one team has a hotel pan smoker. And, a lot of times now you can get regular smokers. And the chef even talked, he said, well, I'd really like doing a regular smoker. He's like, but he goes, I got my hotel pans here. We're going to do a hotel pan smoker, and we're going to do it identical to how this team did it. So it's just very interesting. And I think to tell us a little bit more about that nutritional side and how it goes into it, we've got a video of two of the NASA Johnson Food personnel. I just forgot the word there. That can give us a little bit better explanation about some of that nutritional side and what the astronauts may be experiencing in space. So I'll go ahead and share that for you.
No refrigerator on the International Space Station. The food all has to be shelf stable at room temperature. And the reason there's no refrigeration is because there's limited resources on the International Space Station. And this is also going to be true on a mission to Mars. Keeping foods stable for 5 years is a difficult challenge because you have to stabilize the nutrition and you have to stabilize the quality of the food, so how well it tastes. So if you've ever had a food that's been in your pantry for a certain amount of time and it's past the best of use by, but it's something like a granola bar and you still try it, or you have some crackers in there and you try them and you're like, oh, these aren't very good. Chances are that food's still not 5 years old. So when we go to Mars, the food actually might get sent ahead of the crew. On the International Space Station, they get resupply missions every few months. On a Mars mission, they probably won't have any resupply. The astronauts are really excited when fresh fruit comes up on resupply missions because they don't get it very often, only when a resupply mission docks.
NASA cares a great deal about food for the astronauts. They need to consume enough calories, enough nutrients to stay healthy for the whole mission. And so a mission to Mars is particularly challenging. It could be 30 months, 6 months there, 18 months stay, 6 months back. And the food system might be deployed in advance of the astronaut. We may need food that will last 5 years and be delicious in the 5th year.
Flavor includes taste, which is things like salty and bitter and sour and sweet, and umami, which is actually savory. And it's also a lot of what you get when you're smelling the food. So most of flavor is aroma. When you're looking at taste changes, there's a lot of things that are going on in orbit that could be contributing to a sensation of a taste change. So potentially it could be the fluid shift in the body, so you don't taste things as well because you have a sensation that you have a cold. The aromas don't dissipate the same. They don't rise like they do here on Earth without gravity, and so they dissipate instead of rising, and so they're not getting that aroma, which is most of flavor. The astronauts have about 200 different food options, and that includes their beverages. It's cooked and prepared here on Earth. We remove the water. When they add it back, it's real food. This actually will taste just like you would expect a pasta with shrimp product to taste when you add water back. The reason we remove the water is partially for mass saving. So when you send this up into orbit, it weighs a lot less, and it costs a lot to launch a kilogram into space. So they recycle a lot of their water on the International Space Station so they can add the water back. And we expect that that will continue as they go on Mars missions, that they'd still be recycling a lot of their water. We know from studies that only about 7 of 65 of these that are currently in our food system would still taste good after 5 years. So this is like canned food that you buy in the grocery store, except in a flexible, lightweight pouch. If we do send these to Mars, we have to have a countermeasure in place, which could be a new technology to produce them. So we're still looking into different technologies and how much extra shelf life we can get. Can we get to 5 years by using those technologies, or even combinations of them?
What a great video. I love it. Such knowledge that these scientists are putting out here, and the fact that there's high school students all across the country that are already taking that knowledge and doing something with it. And, you know, especially they mentioned Mars in here, you know, and this week we just had the Mars helicopter, you know, so very timely to this conversation, Alli.
Yes, it is. And that is a huge challenge, is the food and how we're going to deal with it whenever we're taking some of these missions that are long-term and deep space missions. That's also why they are looking at growing different food in space as well, because they're trying to figure out how they can do this and help the crew members with their food.
I love it. Well, let's go ahead. We're going to take a quick look here on some of our chefs. I know we gave you a little teaser of it earlier, and see how they're doing in the kitchens. Again, if you have any comments you want to make, put those on Facebook. We've been sharing them as we go. So we'll go ahead and add some of them into our stream here. This is the feed from Milton Hershey, so we can see what's going on right there. We've got also Fleming Day School. There we go. All right. Looking good. Let's go back, take a look here at Milton Hershey again. Got some good action going on. We'll add Windsor up in here. Take a look and see what we've got going on at Windsor. All right. And let's go ahead. We'll look at the Burnett High School, the Space Dogs. Oh, okay. There, that's some action right there. And then Hewitt Trussville. Oh, all right. Oh, that's already looking good right there. What do you think, Alli?
Yeah, that definitely looks like some good food that you'd find even in Texas. I know they're from Alabama, but you know, when it comes to short ribs and things like that, very good, very good.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to go ahead. We're going to kick it back. I think Chef Dom is on scene, so we're going to add him back in here and connect with him. So Chef Dom, the man who attacks life with a hot pan, what do we got going on out there, man?
Definitely. You hear me all right?
I do. You sound great.
Yeah, so we are in the second round, and it's heating up just as much as that first round. I think these chefs are really hyped. They got one round under their belt. I'm going to work my way. Definitely, like, the biggest thing that I notice is that smell. You know, with these, I love all the videos and everything I learned about NASA. But we're going to come to our first chef right here. Chef Madden, what you cooking up?
What's up? So today I've got a vegan hot dog that's actually going to be plated in a pickle bun, actually, Chef. And so the young man is from Flemingday High School. He's actually one of the youngest restaurant owners, or the youngest restaurant owner in Georgia, Mason. And so I'm going to try to represent him in the ATL the best I can today with his vegan dog. It's did a little test run yesterday. Doing some garnishing pieces right now. So looking forward to seeing how this works. It was pretty a genius idea because with the calorie counts and the nutrition details and all that, he really broke this down with being able to pull the salt out of the pickle, which me and you talked about yesterday. It was a very genius idea to have instead of having to season with salt in the actual vegan dog. So pretty impressed. So looking forward to it. Thanks, Jeff. Have a good one.
Cool. That's awesome. I can't wait to see that. He said a vegan hot dog with a pickle bun. You know, we are definitely taking it to new levels with the second round. But we're going to make our way to the next chef, Chef Ryan Tucker. What do you got cooking up?
Man, it's literally out of the world, right? Vegan hot dogs, pickle buns. It's pretty awesome. So I'm working on a granola bar that I'm not even done with it, and I already want to eat a big bowl of it as it is right now. So we got toasted oats, almonds, cranberries, chocolate, applesauce, stevia, brown sugar. A lot of great stuff in here. It's really good midday snacks when you just need something to hold you over till dinner time, maybe, or between breakfast and lunch, whatever it is. But granola bars are great. They're filling, but it's not going to be too filling. And the fact that they're using stevia in this recipe is really cool because it's just a great substitute for sugar. And that applesauce is going to give it a lot of great sweetness. So these kids have really done a great job with these recipes. I've been really impressed with the things that they've done and what I've seen today. So, yeah, it's pretty exciting. Good stuff.
That is great. I'm amazed by the level of versatility. Like, I wondered if someone was going to bring some sweetness to the table. I'm a pastry chef, but to see like someone whip out something sweet is pretty amazing. So for this next round, we are definitely seeing a wide variety of different techniques, foods, and definitely food elevation to that next level. But we'll take it back to you, Dustin, and then later we'll check on the next group of chefs.
Awesome. That sounds great, Chef. Thanks so much for doing that for us today. Alli, I know earlier today you said something about smell-o-vision. We still don't have it.
I know, that would be awesome to have because it would be perfect. And I really appreciate you, Chef Dom, being down there in the thick of it and being able to share with us what's going on. So that's really, really neat. And it sounds like even from the first heat, just a variety of different kinds of foods that are being made. So this will be a very interesting top 10. I love it.
Definitely.
Excellent. Well, now that we had a chance to take a peek in on all the different chefs and what they're making, let's learn a little bit about the chefs and who's actually cooking these recipes today. So I want to go ahead and introduce our chefs to us today. We've got 5 that cooked the first 5 recipes this morning, and now they're doing the second heat recipes here this afternoon. So let's go ahead and we'll meet them. So first up, we have Chef Jeff Cecil, who's one of Sullivan University's chef representatives. If you want to see him in person, you will find him in Ohio and Pennsylvania coming into schools. Chef Dean Dallas is a chef representative for Sullivan University. He works with a lot of schools in the Missouri, Kansas, Illinois area. And then next up, we've got Chef Eric Lauer. Now, Chef Eric Lauer is the executive chef at Sullivan University's Gardner Point Residence Hall. So he is the brains behind all the food that our students get to enjoy at all their meals, great meals at that. So Chef Clinton Madden is a chef representative for Sullivan University. If you want to see him in person, you'll be able to see him in Tennessee and Kentucky. And then last but not least, our 5th chef today is Chef Ryan Tucker, formerly a chef representative for Sullivan University and has since moved on and is now the owner and chef at Chef Prep Meals, which does over 1,000 healthy meals delivered right to your door Monday through Friday, 7 days a week. So that's who we're working with today, and that's who's making all of our meals.
Well, thank you to all of the chefs that have been a part of this and meeting with our students and understanding what they wanted their recipe to come out like. And thank you for your time and your efforts. It's really appreciated.
Absolutely. Well, that's perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up some of these schools again so we can give them another peek before we run into our next section. Let's see where we've got it at Milton Hershey. All right, we got some chopping going on here. Let's take a peek. Looking good. Good. Then we'll go over to Fleming Day School. All right. I think he's actually putting his mix probably in the fridge. Oh, there they are. See what we got going on at Windsor. Now remember, and so anybody that's watching this, remember this is all going on in real time. They did some prep yesterday, but they're preparing it the same as a scientist would at the Johnson Food Lab. So there, you can see right there at the Windsor High School, we've got Chef Tucker double checking, making sure that he's doing the recipe correct. And we'll check out Burnett High School. All right. Let's see what we've got at Hewitt Trussville. Oh, looking good. What do you think on that little run through, Allie? How's that looking?
Yes, it all looks excellent. I know they're very busy.
Oh, absolutely. So when I'd like to, Allie, if you could, we talked a little bit earlier. So this is only 1/3 of the competition, right? We've got some other parts. So I was wondering if you could talk just a moment what those other 2 parts are and how they sort of all come together. And then I know a video is part of that, and then maybe we can share some of the team videos to get everybody pumped up for our day.
That would be great. Yes, we have a video component and a technical paper component that go into this challenge. And the 2-minute video is really to tell us about their food, their school, talk about what they've learned from this whole process, and really just to kind of play up who they are. So the 2-minute videos are a lot of fun to watch. And then the technical paper is really to make sure that they're getting all of the understanding that's necessary when it comes to food processing for space flight, how the microgravity environment can change how you make food, and then also just some of the space physiology, because your body changes a lot in microgravity. And so they need to understand that so they can understand why we have these nutritional requirements that we have set upon them. So those 3 components, the food, the video, and the paper, are what come together, and then we make the final decision on who the top 3 are out of this top 10. And that will be actually announced on May 7th. We have to give some time for the people that are reviewing the paper and people that are reviewing the videos to have some time to really go through that and look at the rubric that I created to make sure that they are evaluating those as well as they can.
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look at some of those videos. And Allie and I have talked about this, where I am just incredibly impressed with some of these videos, because we already know that they've got some culinary chops to them, because here they are in the top 10. But some of the production value that goes on some of these videos, it's incredibly impressive to me. And what I enjoy about NASA Hunch in general is there's several different parts. The culinary challenge is just one particular part, and we'll talk about some of the other ones later. But these students are getting some of their classmates that are in other programs involved in such an awesome project, and it's that sort of that sense of community that they've all put together.
Yes, I definitely love that. I love that community feel, because that's what it takes to do these projects. It takes the community coming together and trying to learn and figure out things.
Absolutely. Well, let's go ahead and check out these videos. The first one that we have is from Burnett High School.
Going where no dog has gone before. Godspeed, Burnett Space Dogs.
Growing up in Burnett, it's a super tight-knit community. It's rural. Been cooking together for the last 4 years now. We took a restaurant standard recipe and worked to commercialize it by finding many different ways to process foods in order to make them more safe and have a longer shelf life. We spoke with a research chef, Chef Rittman, and figured out that we had a really challenging dish. It has a lot of butter, fat, and cream, which wouldn't work with standard processing methods. We had to look into many different ways to enhance flavors rather than add more salt or more cream. So we looked to oleo resins, which we would use parsley oleo resins, lemon oleo resins, in order to enhance flavors that may be lost during the preservation process.
Our food processing method is retort, and retort is a water bath where the food spins in the water bath until heated to 250 internally. We opted to do the pouch method. For the can method, our recipe is high in fat content, and in fear of burning, we decided to go with our pouch. And our pouch is a sous vide silicone pouch that can be heated to 400 degrees.
Normally when you cook a chicken, you would have to heat it up to 165 degrees. Keeps a shelf life for a lot longer. It enhances the flavors, textures, and the overall experience of the food.
For a new alternative method that we were looking into microwave-assisted thermal sterilization, which is a process used by Amazon in the new coming future that will use hot water pressure and microwave wavelengths. This will cause a much shorter time for conventional retort sterilization, and it will also help reduce the damage done to the food nutrients.
I visited Italy, and that gave me a new appreciation for that culture and especially their food, which gave me the inspiration to do one of their comfort foods, which is creamy chicken française. We had to put a lot of work into changing up the recipe to make it meet the requirements for this project, like changing the heavy cream from heavy cream to half and half, changing the salt content, and doing a lot to the sauce to still give it that creamy texture.
I'd like to first start off by saying thanks to the NASA HUNCH program to give us this opportunity to send our food into space and to expand our skills.
We would also like to thank the JSC Food Lab.
You know, Alli, as I was watching that, I know I talked about the production value beforehand, but I think one of the things that is really important to think about is all the advisors that are helping these students. And I mean, the chef there, I know, is so interactive, and the same with all the schools that we've talked to. The chef interaction and the teacher interaction and advisor interaction has just been so amazing. So these videos, I'm just blown away by them.
Yes, it's amazing. And I mean, these advisors and teachers, they do not get enough credit. I mean, I know that they get credit from their students, but I mean, they do a fabulous job. They are working so hard to make sure that they're helping their students. And I think it's just amazing. This teacher in specific is a new teacher, and we actually have several, even during this pandemic time, have new schools that are part of our program and have gone all the way through, and they're new. And so it's exciting to see these new teachers and new students that are just so thrilled to be a part of this program.
That's awesome. Well, that brings up a good point, Alli, because you guys are accepting new schools, right? I mean, we're looking to grow NASA HUNCH.
Absolutely. We would love to have more students in all of our programs. And Culinary definitely can expand for sure. Anybody that's looking to do that, you can go to nasahunch.com and look for me on the page and find the Culinary. There's all of our other programs out there as well. So there's a lot of opportunity to get involved with HUNCH.
That's awesome. And we'll make sure that you guys have the information as we continue our stream today so that you can get in touch with Alli and help grow such an awesome program to get students to get more of your students involved. Well, let's check out.
And let me say one more thing, if you don't mind. So I just want to make sure that people realize you don't have to have a huge culinary program at your school to get involved. I have some culinary teams that are from a chemistry class. I have some that are from like an after-school program that they wanted to be a part of this. So it's not necessary for you to have a huge culinary lab to be a part of this. And so we really want to make sure that this program is diverse and can be out there for any student that's interested.
Absolutely. Good. Well, let's take a look at the next video. The next video is from Fleming Day School.
Hello, my name is Mason Wright from Team Very Vegan. This year's NASA HUNCH Culinary Challenge was to design a comfort food that was also healthy for you, and I truly believe we've done just that. The name of our dish is the Mad Mango. The reason why we chose mangoes, a delicious vegan hot dog that is entirely plant-based, and we chose a dill pickle is because a dill pickle is good for your gut health and your immune system. A mango is good for your skin and your immune system as well. The JSC and the scientists there, we have two things in common. We know that the astronauts need a variety of comfort food that is healthy for you, and that astronauts love to smell and taste foods from Earth, so it reminds them of home. The way we decided to package our dish was to dehydrate it so it doesn't lose any of the flavor. And that's why we chose that method. And fun fact, did you know that one human can consume 70 hot dogs in their entire lifetime? This challenge has truly pushed me out of my comfort zone and allowed me to be creative, and it has been a real experience, and I hope that all of the other contestants have had just as much fun as we have had. I wanted to take this time to thank the JSC and the NASA HUNCH Culinary Program. Thank you so very much for inviting me.
That's really neat. I like seeing that creativity. It's great. I think you're muted, Dustin.
Thank you. Sorry about that. This was one of the ones that I told some of the chefs earlier. I said, we've got the judging room and the tasting and stuff like that. And I said, if there's a chance that I can get a piece of that, I'm really interested on trying that afterwards. So that's good. The next one that we've got for us is from Hewitt Trussville.
I'm a member of the HTHS Culinary Minds. We're from Trussville, Alabama, and at our school we have many different academies, and two of them work with NASA, those being engineering and culinary.
My name is Sarah, and I am part of the Culinary Minds. The JSC Food Lab is the Johnson Space Center. The JSC Food Lab is a facility where teams process and research space food. They plan menus, packaging, and food-related utensils, and reheating devices for sending food into space.
Each year, the HUNCH Culinary program allows high schools around the U.S. to further develop their culinary skills by working with NASA's selected food theme. It gives us the opportunity for a great life experience, knowledge of NASA and nutrition, and help students who win obtain scholarships to help them succeed their future goals.
We chose our dish because beef and potatoes are a Sunday comfort for many in the South. Instead of doing just plain beef and potatoes, we replaced the potatoes with a cauliflower mash to make it healthy, and to make it fancier, we replaced the beef with beef short ribs. We decided to go with a mellow flavor instead of a spicy flavor like groups in years past. For our dish, we seared and smoked the short ribs to lock in the flavor. Then we braised them in stout beer and beef stock to get the mellow flavor.
After braising, we let the short ribs cool and took off any leftover fat. Then, with the sauce left in the pan, we poured it into a fat separator to make sure there was no fat left.
Then, we separated the meat from the bone and added it back to the pan with mushrooms. When the sauce was finished separating, we added that back to the pan as well to finish cooking together. After prepping for the cauliflower mash, We added the cauliflower into a pot of water to boil until tender.
We strained the cauliflower after it became tender and made sure there was no water left. Then added it to a stand mixer to incorporate all the spices and cheese to get our perfect potato-like consistency. Food processing is a big component in sending food to space. The way astronauts eat in space is different from Earth. You could think of the food in space as a microwave meal. There are several methods such as thermostabilization, radiation, freeze-drying, intermediate moisture, and natural form, such as fresh, frozen, and refrigerated. For our dish, I think it would work best packaged using thermostabilization.
You know, Alli, that video there, what I liked is that science aspect. You know, they really talked about the different types of stabilization, and you know, it goes back to, it's just so fascinating to see how these different pieces are coming together.
Yes, and I like how they took an idea of a comfort food, and they're right. There's even in Texas a lot of people that'll get together on Sunday and they're going to have their beef and potatoes. So I think this is really nice that they are figuring out a different way and then also incorporating that taste into it. I think that's really, really neat. So it looks so good. All of the food looks so good.
I know. I get so hungry. We only had about a half-hour break between streams, so I didn't get a chance to enjoy much of it. And I'm hoping that I can enjoy more of it once our day is finished up here. But the next school that we've got here is Milton Hershey School. Let's go ahead and check out their video.
Milton Hershey School is a private boarding school in Hershey, PA, and our school founder is Milton Hershey, the creator of the Hershey Bar. He created this school to nurture, care, and prepare students for college and life. He wanted the students to have a strong foundation in education and to build their character. During the CTE month, this NASA HUNCH project is a great opportunity for all of us at MHS, and the MHS team members are ready and excited to show you what we have learned.
We started with over 20 recipes during the course of our program. We whittled it down to 5 amazing fine-tuned dishes, and from that, chose the best fitting one for the parameters of the competition, mainly keeping in mind our audience, portability, and stability of ingredients. That's how we got our final dish, a healthy turkey chili. Our chili is not only healthy, but flavorful and aromatic. We dry toasted our spices and roasted our red pepper over an open flame. We use nutritional calculators and the culinary textbooks on cooking and foundations of restaurant management and culinary arts. We're working with turkey breast only because it lowered the fat and calories. We considered the idea of adding nutritional yeast, but decided against it due to the flavor. After much trial and error, we finally met the parameters to keep the astronauts healthy.
The JSC Food Lab is accountable for testing, prepping, and packaging food delivered to the ISS. While astronauts are stationed at the ISS, they can experience a great deal of homesickness, leading to feelings of isolation and depression. And we created a dish that assists in managing those feelings while aboard the ISS. Our research shows that protein-rich foods, like our principal ingredient, can boost alertness and make serotonin. The process of preservation we choose to pursue is canning because it provides an airtight environment for our dish. The lack of oxygen in this environment allows for the flavor of our dish to be conserved, unlike the process of dehydration, which can make our dish tough and unappetizing.
Thank you.
Another great video.
I know there's a lot of great information in there. And of course, I'm a science background, so I love all the science that's in there, talking about everything. It's really great, and I'm just excited to see everybody's dishes. They are amazing.
I know. And we're getting close. So it's a 2:45. And so the chefs have about 15 more minutes that they'll be really sort of working on their dishes. So we should see some of those dishes start coming out. We'll be coming back to the judging room here in just a little bit, but let's go ahead and check out the next video. This will be the last one. This is from Windsor High School.
You have some explanation for that? Oh boy, it's really something super fantastic here. You couldn't ever imagine this.
Let's suppose that you were able every night to dream any dream you wanted to dream. Let's have a dream which isn't under control. That's the nature of life. Finally, you would dream where you are now.
I'm almost speechless. I'd say the production quality, I keep saying it, but these students just so talented. What an incredible hype video.
Right, it was. There's a lot of good imagery in there for sure.
Absolutely. Well, and that's one of those videos that can just really get people pumped up. And that was a great video to finish up on, so we can get pumped up to let's take a look and see what's going on in the different rooms right now. And we also will talk to Dominic. I think Chef Tardy is going to do some more chef interviews for us. But let's go ahead and sort of see what's going on around here. I know they're getting ready to finish up and probably start plating some stuff up here. So let's go ahead and get Chef Dom on the screen here. And Dom, how are things going on out there, boots on the ground, man?
It's doing great. Like, the competition is definitely heating up. The timekeeper announced the minutes are trickling down. Right now we're with the second group of chefs, and it is heating up. I love the versatility in the dishes. We may need to come a little closer to Chef Eric because he is cooking it up over here. What you got going, Chef?
I'm mounting the pan reduction here for the chicken francese. I've got my zucchini noodles going over here. That's in place of pasta, which is usually how it's traditionally served. And then over here, I've got my torched lemons and all my lemon garnishes. But yeah, we're rocking and rolling over here, and this one's gonna be good.
Sounds good. It smells amazing. Competition is definitely going fast. We're probably going to be going behind because all the chefs are definitely cooking it up. Chef Dean Dellis, what can you tell us about your dish?
Okay, today we've got some Guinness beef short ribs with a cauliflower mash. So cauliflower mash is way over there getting all mashed up. We've got the short ribs here, mushrooms, and then we're going to do some smoking with the smoking gun to add a little extra flavor at the end before we plate up.
Right. I love that. I heard Alli say earlier about meat and potatoes. I'm excited about the short ribs. And I see that Chef Dellis has the smoking gun, which is also going to be incredible. We're getting a little bit of flair here in the NASA HUNCH competition. Chef Jeff Cecil, what you got cooking up over here?
Man, we got the best, fire roasted red pepper, char grilled turkey chili. I don't know where I'm supposed to look, but some amazing turkey chili. Just char grilling that turkey on the grill to impart that smokiness. Same with the fire roasted red pepper. I'm really rooting for Milton Hershey. How y'all doing? Just tasted it a few more times, and we're about there. Honestly, it's shaping up really nice. Great flavor from that cumin. And we toasted those spices too to bring out the natural oils and those flavors too. We're in the home stretch here, and I'm ready to plate. So in a couple minutes, yeah.
That is excellent. Me and Chef Cecil, we're both in Ohio, and we know a little something about chili, so it's exciting. He said healthy chili. I'm interested to see how it comes out.
Can you imagine on a cold, I don't know what's the cold outer space day. I don't even know what the astronauts say, but like a cold day in space, like a nice hot bowl of chili. I mean, if that's not comforting, I don't know what is, honestly. You know.
Definitely. You can see that things are heating up. Definitely a little noisier than the first round, but these chefs are working really hard to make these dishes come to life. We got smoking guns. We got mixes. We got chef over there doing the chicken. It is definitely, we are down to the wire. It's been a fun-filled day, but I'm interested to see how this second round comes about. It's definitely heating up. Definitely that smell-o-vision, the short ribs, everything that we have going on in here. It's definitely amazing in the kitchen too.
I love it, Dom. Thank you for that excitement. What do you think, Alli?
Oh yeah, it sounds great. It sounds wonderful, Chef Dom. I mean, I would love to be in your shoes right now. For sure.
Definitely.
That's fantastic. Well, Dom, we'll let you get back at it. We're going to start I'm looking at the judging room on our other screen. Looks like we got some people coming in there. And not yet. There we go. Looks like we've got some action coming into the judging room. So I know that the plates and stuff will be heading in there soon as well. So that's great. I wanted to look. It looks like see if I can peek in on some of these other schools that are in there. And let's see what we got on Windsor here. This was one that we were looking at earlier. So this looks like we might be cutting. Looks like we're cutting the space bars. All right. And big thanks. You might see our timekeeper there on the left. One of the things that, we wanted to make sure we kept everybody on time today. So I'm sure she was letting them know that time's coming up. It's soon going to be time to plate it up and get it out to our judges. But as we sort of speak about our judges, I'd like to introduce some of them to you. And you can see who's going to be actually tasting and doing the sensory judging today. Perfect. So first up, we have Chef Alan Ackman. He's the Director of Culinary Programs at Sullivan University. Chef Danielle Gleason, one of our chef instructors here at Sullivan University. We also have Chef David Hendrickson. He is Dean of the College of Hospitality Studies here at Sullivan. And Dr. Diana Lawrence is our Senior Vice President for Academic Affairs and our Provost. We also have Dr. Thomas Smith, who's the Director of our Hospitality Management Program here at Sullivan University, and also honored to have Chancellor Glenn Sullivan of Sullivan University as one of our judges today as well. We do have a couple guests that have joined us as well. We have Chef Suzanne Greer, who is the President of the ACF Greater Indianapolis Chapter. Very happy to have the ACF joining us today for this competition. Chef Austin Harris is the owner of the Drippin' Crab here in Louisville. So if you're looking for some great seafood, he's the guy to see when you come down and visit us. And then finally, our next set of judges, we've got two. We have Lindsay Officek, who's the co-founder and managing director, mentor of the Lee Initiative. And when Dominic does interviews with some of the judges later, we'll get to hear more about what that is. A great initiative for people to get involved in the hospitality industry. And then finally, Chef Domonic Tardy, our boots on the ground guy that's been out there with us all day. He'll also be our final judge. So, Alli, what do you think of that cast?
I mean, I just really appreciate them and their time, and it just sounds like an amazing group of people that'll be helping us out today. So it's great to have all of those people that'll be tasting our food, and thank you so much. Really appreciate your time and efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. So as we're coming down to the home stretch, and I've kept the judging room on there, and I can see the judges are starting to move back into their seats and getting ready for things to come in. I wanted to talk a little bit more about the NASA HUNCH program because, my hope is that we have more students, we have more advisors, we have more people that want to get involved. We sort of teased it earlier in the show that, there's a lot of opportunities, not just in the culinary field, but in some of the other parts of NASA HUNCH that students can get involved. And I was hoping that you might be able to talk just a few moments about the NASA HUNCH program as a whole. And then we've got a great video that I'd love to share with everybody that can get them excited about joining the organization.
Well, thank you. Yes, HUNCH, when it first started, it's called High School Students United with NASA to Create Hardware. And at first, that's what we were primarily focused on, was hardware. And we still do hardware. We do all kinds of things that go up onto the International Space Station. We have lockers that go up there that are built. And all of these are student built with our guidance on things. But the lockers go up there and they might house an experiment or have personal effects for the crew. They're used all over the International Space Station. Then we've been making handrails, which is what they use to hold on to whenever they're in space. And we have much other hardware that's getting ready to go up as well. We just set up a tape dispenser, actually, which sounds a little funny, but the crew, it's hard for them to use two hands for a tape, for getting tape off, because they're also trying to balance themselves. So this is a one-handed tape dispenser, and they love it. So there's a ton of hardware on Space Station. We also have a soft goods group, and that means it's usually with our fashion design kids that they'll come in and they're doing some sewing. All the white stuff that you see on Space Station, if you're looking at it, that is soft goods. So we might make cargo transfer bags that hold things, panels on all of the racks, and those panels are soft goods items. We have sleeping bags, for the crew, multiple things that are being made with soft goods. Then we've also added in a video challenge area. Of course, we have culinary, and design and prototype is an area that we have as well, which is where we take real problems that are coming either from our astronaut office or from some of our commercial partners. There's just a wide variety of different kinds of problems, and those go out to students and they get to work on coming up with a solution over the period of a school year. So we have a lot of opportunities, and we really try to reach out to a multitude of students. We are looking for, I think, every category of student that can get involved in our program.
That's great, Alli. And the web address is nasahunch.com.
Mm-hmm.
And they can reach out right through there
yes.
and get involved.
Absolutely. Yes. So it would be great.
Well, good. Well, let's so we've seen all these the culinary hype videos. So let's go ahead and check out that hype video for HUNCH as a whole and get some advisors and students excited. If you're a student watching this, talk to one of your favorite teachers and say, hey, I want to get involved with this. So let's check out this video.
It was from here that men and women, propelled by sheer nerve and talent, set about pushing the boundaries of humanity's reach. That's the story of NASA.
Touching the stars. Joining humanity's mission to space. A goal that can feel so far beyond our reach, it may seem to many as impossible. But for a generation that knows no limits, the gravitational pull of doubt is no match for their ingenuity.
Starting at about 11 o'clock, people are going to start coming over from NASA. They want to come over and see what you guys are up to.
We take ideas that come from our astronauts, whether they call down from on orbit or come by and see us after they return. We take those ideas and we ask our students to come back with solutions to those problems.
HUNCH is a nationwide STEM program where students take problems NASA's engineers need solving and find solutions.
What we have here is called the Tool Arrangement Container and Organizer. The idea was to sort of create a more modular sort of system for the astronauts to store their tools.
Hundreds of their ideas have already been adopted by the space program. This competition at the Johnson Space Center features the best of the best ideas.
Anything that we ask our students to do, it's actually meeting a need that NASA has.
Like this tool that you guys built is actually something that we more or less do or use on the NEMO mission itself. I think it's really impressive that high school students can build stuff like this. When a lot of people think of NASA, they think of cutting edge technology, and I think these kids are definitely at the forefront for delivering that.
Beyond their role as innovators, HUNCH programs are actively fulfilling work orders for NASA, including a machining program creating stowage lockers for the International Space Station.
I feel like I have a role in a say in something. It's pretty cool to just know that I'm doing something for NASA, like at 16 years old.
And an industrial sewing program for softbacks. Two products described as essential workhorses for the space program.
When these are built for flight, what they will do is pack these with food items, clothing, all kinds of different goods, experiments, things like that, and then these will then be packed into modules to be sent up.
HUNCH attracts students from every corner of the country, from small rural public schools to private institutions, and every interest level. One of their fastest growing programs focuses on the lives of the astronauts in space, specifically on what they eat in orbit.
What's on the menu tonight?
Strawberry shortcake. We
Oh.
have these butter cookies and some strawberries with a little bit of milk on top.
Oh, excellent.
About 5 years ago, some of the crew, they were talking about, we'd like some different options for food items in space, and so this program started.
Our dish is all vegetarian, so we use mushrooms to give it that kind of meat texture to it.
We wanted to get students that were involved to understand about microgravity and understand about the food processing that has to take place in order for food to get up there.
You're investing in our poached pear and a wild cherry syrup.
It is a challenge because the nutritional guidelines are so strict.
First off, we have antioxidants in the cherries, which are very high, a low sodium content, and a lot of magnesium, potassium, and very low fat. Doing this competition is something that I would never thought I would be able to do. So it really, it's a confidence booster.
It's cool that I can see how much impact I can have at a young age. I like the idea that I'm contributing more than not just on my planet.
The space program has always captured an essential part of what it means to be an American, reaching for new heights, stretching beyond what previously did not seem possible.
NASA's push for a brighter future may be creating their future at the same time, introducing a new generation early to space to be the program's leaders of tomorrow.
These kids are like thinking at Silicon Valley speed to innovation, and they're applying it to stuff that's going into space.
I think that we do have some future astronauts here, but I think we also have some future NASA engineers, NASA scientists, a variety of students that are going to contribute to the NASA family. These kids might be some of the kids that might be going on these missions to Mars, and so it's a fabulous thing to be a part of.
Space exploration is not a luxury, it's not an afterthought in America's quest for a brighter future. It is an essential part of that quest, because exploration will once more inspire wonder in a new generation.
That's just fantastic. I love inspiration. It was so interesting with that final quote, because that's what I was thinking. Is I was like, this is just an inspiring video that makes students want to get involved.
Yes, and that's what we want. We want as many students involved that we can have as possible from all different areas, all different walks of life, and just trying to help inspire that next generation.
Yeah, for sure. And Alli, so remind me again, how long has the NASA HUNCH program been around? Because this could be the first time that people are hearing about this. What I guess was the reason that it started? Because I would say it was 6 years for the culinary part, from what I've seen.
Oh, right. But the NASA HUNCH program itself has been around for 15 years now. Actually, I think we're on our 16th year. I could be wrong about that. but it started really with our founder, Stacy Hale, and our co-founder, Bob Zeke, and they basically started by saying, hey, we can probably teach students to do this kind of like machining and delivering and building some of this hardware. And so it really was that idea that brought all of this to life. And then it's just spread. It's just, and especially in the past, probably in the past 5 years, it's just gone gangbusters, it feels like. So, I've been with the program for almost 9 years, and it's been great. It's been a fabulous program to be a part of.
Well, that's great. Well, hopefully we can go even more gangbusters next year, especially with everything sort of easing up and getting students back into it in the classroom. And I think next, Chef Domonic is in the judging room, and I think we're going to get an update from him. So let's bring Chef Dom in here and see what's going on. So he's going to need to unmute for us. There you go, man. How are you?
All right. It has been a great day. I know our judges have been busy in here. We're in that second round, that last final push. I'm seeing food coming in. We got some tasting going on. I'm seeing some plates on the table, which looks great. So we're going to go around and talk to our judges and see how they're feeling. Check in. I know it's been a long day, but there is some light at the end of the tunnel. Chef Hendricks, how you doing today?
Good, thank you. I want to just say congratulations to everybody. The passion in the videos, the excitement in the recipes. I feel very confident in the future of the restaurant industry with these great young people coming into it. So congratulations to all.
Great, thank you so much. Chef Hackman, you hanging in there? How you doing, Chef?
Yeah, I'm doing well. Super impressed. Actually, super impressed with the videos. I've actually learned plenty myself just watching what they've had to say about the flavor profiles that they need to create and what the food needs to be able to do past this point in order to make it into space.
Definitely. I'll repeat what Chef Ackman said. Like when I ever meet someone, the NASA scientist, shout out to Nancy. She will talk your ear off. She is so passionate. Like us chefs are passionate about food, about the food scientist aspect about NASA. So I'm like a sponge everywhere. Like I love all the food scientist work. I had seen something about them doing like plants and, starting to grow produce and stuff like that. So I geek out on that being a chef. But Chef, how you doing today?
Doing great. This has been amazing.
Sounds good. How you like the second round of dishes from the first round?
Only had one dish so far, but it was very good. All the first round dishes were excellent. I've been very impressed.
Incredible. Thank you so much, Chef. How you doing? I said second round. You got a dish already on. How are you feeling about the second round?
It's going amazing. I can't believe that this is going to be space food. It's beautiful. I'm excited that I'm not trying it reconstituted today, but it's an honor to be here.
And it looks so great. I know ultimately it gets like put in a pouch and but it looks amazing. So tell me a little bit about the Lee Initiative.
Yeah, the Lee Initiative is a nonprofit organization that focuses on mentoring women into more leadership roles in culinary. We spent the last year doing direct aid across the country, and we're able to feed over 1 million families, but we're happy to get back to our original mission of mentoring.
Great. Feel free to look up more about the Lee Initiative. Sorry. It is a hard one. I've been talking all day. I've stumbled all over my words, but it's Chef Gleason. I ain't gonna lie, one of my favorites here at Sullivan. How you hanging in there, Chef?
Oh, this has been a fantastic day. I loved leaving class, coming over with a little bit of a change. The flavors that these kids have put together, the ideas they've used from what they've learned. I can't wait to see what else they have to offer, and I can't wait to see where they go in the future. This is amazing.
Incredible. Thank you for coming, Chef. And my man, you do it back again. How you hanging in there, Chef?
I'm doing well. Just enjoying myself here. Happy to be here. You can tell that these kids, contrary to belief, they are competing. They are really competing. And this is for sure a competition in its finest form. And I think they're doing a great job. And looking forward to seeing what else they're bringing out.
Thank you, Chef. Thank you. And coming round to a NASA HUNCH judging veteran, Chef Suzanne Greer. How you hanging in there?
I just had something very tasty. So it is a good day, my friend. It's a good day. I love seeing what these kids produce with such tight ramifications. You really have to be creative. I'm hoping next year I won't be able to judge because I'm a high school culinary teacher and I would like to do HUNCH with my students.
That's one thing I was going to ask you, because not only are you ACF president, you also are a culinary instructor in Indy, and also been judging it. You know, how do you feel about, you know, your firsthand with that next generation of chefs? You know, how are you feeling about that next generation of chef that's going to lead us into, you know, I don't know if we have the space food, you know, dehydrated like a chip or something that you just put on your tongue and dissolves yet, but you know, it's not the Jetsons yet. But how you feel about that next generation of chefs?
Well, you know, it's funny. I always tell my students, do you like to clean? We all know that. But I always make my students think about being divergent thinkers. A lot of people don't realize there's a whole section of what we do called culinology. I mean, food scientists that create this. So we're starting in the high school, putting the seeds in and the thought process. I think it's going to be bright, especially because we can bring career tech ed into the classroom more and more.
Couldn't agree more. Making our ways up to the rounds. We got two more, but two very important people with Sullivan. How you doing today, doctor?
I'm doing great. How can I not be?
I know. And I feel like bad because I come around and everyone has food in front of them. I don't want to come with anybody with food in their mouth. How you feeling about this second round?
Amazing. I mean, these students are, they're so, the passion is in their food. And at that age, to be able to produce something like this, I'm just absolutely impressed.
Definitely, it's going to be very difficult on our judges. I see with the judges table, we got 3, so we got 2 more that need to come up. And last but not least, Chancellor Sullivan, how you doing today?
Great, Chef. Thank you. These, I tell you, students at home, you all should be so proud of yourselves and your faculty. So proud of yourselves and your students. Moms and dads, doing a great job. This stuff is really impressive. We're having food that you'd be happy to eat anywhere.
Now, all the judges agree, like, this food is out of this world. I'll take it back to you, Judge Dustin. Food is flying in. Chef Dean just brought his dish, but definitely going to be tough, very tough on our judges. But how are things looking up there, Dustin?
Hey, things are looking great. What do you think, Alli?
Yes, I mean, it just looks amazing. And thank you so much to the judges. I really appreciate your time. I know everybody's busy, but I really appreciate all the guest judges and the Sullivan judges, and especially Chancellor Sullivan coming and being a part of all of this. It's just a great thing to see. So I really appreciate y'all. NASA HUNCH appreciates you. Thank you.
Absolutely. And what a great, you know, the remarks that Chancellor Sullivan made there, you know, special thanks to the parents, the advisors, the students. It takes so many people to bring these ideas to fruition. And I'm just so thankful that these students have people in their lives that are pushing them into, you know, thinking outside the box and getting involved in things like this. I wanted to
especially, let me say this. I really think that it's amazing, especially during all of this pandemic time, that the student teams that were able to finish this competition, that they just went to amazing lengths to be able to do this. So I really think that's amazing, that they didn't give up, that they're like, I'm going to complete this. We'll figure it out. You know, whether it's I'm doing a recipe cook-off at my house and having my family around to taste it, and then, you know, moving it along the team members. It's exciting. So
absolutely, Alli. Well, and that reminded me, you know, we had, so prior to, you know, as we look at the process here, we received the recipes. So we gave them to the chefs and they had a chance to look at it. But then we held Zoom calls with each of the teams and their advisors because we wanted to understand, exactly what was in their thought process, what were they looking to get out of it, because we want to do it exactly the same way that they did it. And talking with some of these advisors and students, there was one that we talked to that said that, they hadn't been in person for so long that this competition was being done where, one person was doing something on their Zoom, they're watching another one and then trying to get all the information sort of cobbled together. And I mean, it sort of goes to one of your earlier comments about community, so it sort of built that community even though they couldn't be together. And it's just so impressive with what they're doing. So.
Yes, I mean, it's great. I mean, and these students come up with so many unique ideas, and that's what I love too about this competition, is that they really take something and make it their own, and they really, try to step away from the typical ways that you can make something flavorful, and make it more healthy and try different things out. I love that. I love that they'll just start trying different things, and it may not work for them, but then they'll go, aha, I've got this idea. Let's do this, So I think that's great. And I love that part of the competition, that they really have to think about it and really dig deep into how they're going to make this work out. For sure. Well, and as we're sort of coming down to the home stretch here, and we'll be checking back in with Chef Domonic to see the final plates and such here in just a few minutes. Wanted to talk a little bit about our relationship between Sullivan and NASA HUNCH, and we're proud to support again this year that each of these students that is competing on these top 10 all received a $12,000 scholarship to join us at Sullivan University in beautiful Louisville and Lexington, Kentucky. But the winner, so the one who not only did they get their food to go to space, but they're also offered a full tuition scholarship for an associate degree program here at Sullivan University. The second place team will receive $40,000. The third place team will receive $20,000 to join us at Sullivan, because we want these innovators, right? So we're very proud to continue to support what Alli and NASA HUNCH is continuing to do. Well, I just really know that we appreciate that so much. We appreciate that these students get this opportunity. I know last year's winners were super excited to go to Sullivan and be a part of it. And I love it. And I want to make sure that everybody realizes too, that when you're saying this, like about a full tuition or the $40,000, that it's every student that's on that team that will get that opportunity. It's not like they have to divide it among each of the team members. So that's a really great thing. And, your campus is beautiful. So I think they will really enjoy being able to be a part of it if they are one of the winners, or even if they want to use it, because all the top 10, like you said, get $12,000 to go toward it. So that's wonderful. Absolutely. Well, we're hoping to get Alli down on campus sometime this summer. So it'll be good to host her. And I wanted to show a little video, a little bit about what we have to offer at Sullivan University, and a special opportunity too. We have an entire summer camp as well for students that are interested in culinary and hospitality, or even medical fields and things like that. So I wanted to take the next 2 minutes and share a little bit with you about Sullivan University and also about our camp.
Welcome to Sullivan University. Thank you for choosing Sullivan for your education. We can't wait for you to get involved in your courses and experience campus life. Here are some of the things you can look forward to as a student at Sullivan University.
It's been really fun. It's been a lot of learning and a lot of activities, a lot of getting to know people in the field, and it's really nice to get to see how the kitchen actually works.
We've had a lot of cooking experience here, being in the advanced camp and knowing a little bit already and getting experience with plating and a lot of fun dishes we've made.
I like fabricating meats. Meats are really cool. I haven't done a lot of butchering, so gotten a good experience with that.
Well, it's been really nice here at camp, just seeing all the nice people and the roommate and all the team that I have.
Making friends was actually kind of scary for me because I come from a really small town. There was so many people and they were all great.
On your downtime, you guys just hang out together, go to the pool.
The activities that we've participated in outside of camp have been pretty awesome, I'm not gonna lie.
We went to the main event entertainment center, which is a big arcade, bowling.
And we got to go zip lining and do a lot of fun activities. It's a blast.
Though I did learn a little bit in my culinary arts class in high school, definitely coming here and seeing this and being around the more professional chefs that cook in restaurants and all that has definitely helped, and they've taught me a lot.
Working with my instructor has been very fun and it's very informative, and they tell you like what flavors go good with other flavors and how to complement your dish. I feel like my skill level has increased a lot.
The chefs know what they're doing. They like to get to know you on a personal basis.
And when they give you advice on your dish, don't take it to heart. They're just trying to help you and just have fun.
I've known I wanted to go into the culinary arts, but seeing this and seeing the program and seeing all the nice teachers, they're really focused on the students. It's just helped me decide that I really want to go into this field of study.
It's all worth it in the end when you look at the masterpiece that you've done, the food, and then you see the smiles on people's faces that are enjoying the food that you make. I mean, it really warms your heart.
My experience has been amazing. I think if you're interested in going to the culinary arts, you should definitely go to this program because you learn so much more than what you would have learned in basic culinary classes.
Awesome. Back at it. What do you think, Alli? Think some students might be interested in summer camp?
Oh yeah, I want to go too. I just think it's great. There seems like there's a lot of things that you could learn and be a part of. So that's really, really neat.
Absolutely. Well, if I take a look here, we'll go ahead and sort of zoom in here on the judging room as we're coming into the last few moments, and then we'll get to Chef Tardy on the main mic here in just a moment. But looks like a lot of happy people. It looks like all the stuff is starting to end up. I think we might have all 5 plates out there at this point. So let's go ahead. I'm going to go over to Chef Domonic. Chef Domonic, how is everything out there?
All right, we got everything is good. We got the final plate on the table, which is amazing that we've made it this far. We started this early. Definitely a lot of work put in from the chefs, from the Sullivan team, from Alli and her team at NASA. It seems, we've had so many meetings and we've been ready to reach this point. And that final dish is on the table for the judges. So definitely a lot of hard work put in. This second round, just as amazing as that first round. I love the versatility, how all the teams came with just something unique, and really just took on this the challenge of this and brought to life. I'm interested to see what the talks are going to be, for next year for this culinary competition. I always love the theme. The theme is always, so important, and to get that put out there and to see these kids, bring that to life, is always amazing. So we're doing great in the judges room. Like I said, it's tough. It's definitely tough on these judges. So that's something that, we definitely is going to be hard. It's going to be hard, but last dish is on the table, and we're going to send this to Alli, and there's all the kinds of different categories for it, and then a winner's going to be crowned. We're going to get a dish up in space.
It's awesome. Thanks, Chef Dom. Go ahead, Alli.
I was just going to say thank you, definitely, for helping with all of this. I mean, this has just been an amazing event and amazing way that we can actually have the students get their food tasted and tested. So this is really, really fabulous. Thank you so very much to both of you and to all of Sullivan and all the judges for NASA HUNCH. We really appreciate that.
Sure thing. Hey, Dom, Chef Dom, can we get one more look at the plates?
Yeah, we could get a good look at the plates. One question for Alli. Alli, have you ever been to Louisville?
I have come to Louisville once. I did not know about Sullivan then, and that was at a Skills USA thing, which I might have been a part of at that time. This was several years ago. But I would absolutely love to come to Sullivan and check out everything that you guys have going on there because it looks amazing.
That is great. But see, now we've officially adopted Alli. You are a Sullivan family now. So when you come to Louisville, we got to take you to our spots and take you around the city and show you how we do it.
That sounds great. I would love it.
Sounds good.
Awesome. Well, Dom, let's take one more look at those plates, and we'll
get a close up of that final dishes on the table.
Oh my goodness, they look so good. Every single one of them.
All look amazing. You know, it's hard. It's like your kids. You don't want to say one's a favorite. Like what you see right there is just incredible amounts of work, long hours. You know, I know in our Zoom calls with the teachers, and some of it are trying to communicate with their schools through Zoom. With all the challenges that happened this year was an extra level of challenge with the pandemic and everything that happens. So to kind of see this come to life, see it come to this point is just an amazing feeling. Kudos to our judging team. I want to take a minute to just say thank you to all our judges for coming out. I know it's been a long day, a lot of food, a lot of spicy, flavorful food, but we made it. And shout out to everybody here at Sullivan, and also shouts out to NASA. Alli, thank you for getting us involved. It's been infectious this week about everybody just geeked out about this. I've gotten so many calls. Me doing the news the other day, I went to Kroger and they're like, Chef, I seen you on the news earlier. You're that NASA kid. So
that's great.
It's definitely been an amazing week. A lot of hard work put in, and it's definitely going to be great to see who wins.
Absolutely,
But
and I'll be announcing
there really are no losers. The challenge in competition and to put yourself out there and compete, is just continuing. I talk a lot about climbing mountains. And in this is an incredible mountain to climb. This is going to jumpstart them to continue to climb mountains. And now that mountain's on space. So now we got Space Mountain is another mountain to climb, and I'm more interested in the evolution, like I said, of NASA and for Culinary.
No, it's great. And May 7th is when I'm going to be announcing the top 3 winners from these top 10. And I will actually get that recorded and then give it over to you guys so that you can post it too. I'm going to let everybody know by email, but I'm also going to make it a session, a video session. So it'll be able to be posted as well.
That sounds great. Well, Dom, thanks so much for the boots on the ground today. We'll go ahead and let you get back to it because I know you still have some judging to do. But want to again reiterate a little bit about what Chef Dom said, that thank you to NASA, everybody at Sullivan, the faculty and staff, and all the people that have been involved in putting this together. It's been months in the making, and glad to see that it's finally has come together. So, Alli, any final thoughts before we leave everybody go today?
Just thank you so much. And I appreciate every single person, like all of the camera people, everybody behind the scenes that's been doing some things like ordering the food. I think that was Anne that was doing that, and just getting everything put together. This is just a really fabulous event, and I really appreciate it. I know NASA HUNCH appreciates it, and we're just looking forward to continuing our partnership with you guys.
Absolutely. Well, thanks so much, everybody. This has been wonderful. Everybody's been great. The people in our Facebook room, thanks so much for joining the conversation today. It's been a lot of fun seeing your wonderful comments and your encouragement to these incredibly talented students. We'll look forward to seeing some of them at Sullivan University. And this replay will be available on Facebook, and it'll also be available on YouTube on Monday. So everyone have a fabulous rest of your day, and we'll look forward to seeing you all again soon.
Bye.